Hey, welcome back to Ron's Gyros. This is Captain Ron. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Hope you're learning somewhat from them. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to practice proficiency. And this is a good exercise to do, multiple takeoff and landings on a single pass. This runway here is a little over a mile long, so we're able to get several. It's kind of an advanced practice, but it keeps you sharp, and you ought to practice it occasionally. If you fly a gyrocopter or a gyroplane, you need to keep proficient, so be a frequent flyer. This exercise is much more efficient when you got a lot of wind in your face going down the runway, and today we got that probably about a 15 to 20. It's best to practice this with no crosswind to begin with and no gusty winds. It really keeps your multitasking capabilities pretty sharp, because you're doing a lot of controlling with all three controls of rudder, especially in a crosswind, cyclic, and your throttle, of course. And when you practice this, you should just try a couple, maybe one or two takeoffs and landings, and then go around the pattern again, or stop and taxi back. One of the concerns of doing this is you get carried away and you're doing really good, and you keep adding to it, and before you know it, you're at the end of the runway. So you have to watch, be very careful about that, and don't try to go around when you're close to the end of the runway. Most of your runway is in the back of you, and that's of no value. So, always practice safety, and be very aware of your surroundings. There may be other airplanes in the pattern, and you're doing hops down the runway, and as you know, airplane pilots don't understand gyrocopters and how they operate, so we're sort of viewed as a helicopter to airplane pilots. So always be aware of your surroundings. Right, this morning it's quite calm here, not a lot of traffic going on. But this maneuver, these takeoff and landings you want to make sure you got quite a bit of time as a pilot in command, because it does take a lot of multitasking. You've got to be very sharp. Your coordination has to be on target. And at first, you're going to be making, you make your first landing. Sometimes I'll do a pattern and then start from the beginning of the runway if I'm trying to get multiple and trying to get as many as takeoff and landing as possible. But that shouldn't be a concern with if you're first starting to do this. Just do a couple, and it's going to be and don't try to compare it to what I'm going to demonstrate, because I've done this a while. But your first takeoff is going to be a while before you do your landing. You're going to float a lot, and especially if there's a lot of wind, your ground speed's going to be minimal, and that's what you want. You want to keep your ground speed down to a minimum. Alright, I checked the mags, and I'm just going to do a circle on the ground, check for traffic, check for leaks. If I got any oil leaks or water leaks. And I don't see any aircraft on final, or I don't hear anybody. So I'll ease on out there. Actually, we can stop here, hold short. We have an automated weather system on the field, so we'll get an idea of what the winds are like.
0 Zulu. Wind 19er. 0 at 16. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26 Celsius. Dew point 17 Celsius. Altimeter 30.
Okay, we got a wind right down the runway. That's unusual. 19, and it's not gusting, so it ought to be kind of perfect conditions.
Cersei traffic, Gyrocopter 724 Juliet Foxtrot. Lining up, waiting for departure on 19, Cersei.
Cersei traffic, 3077 Echoes, entering the downwind for 19, Cersei traffic.
Now, when there's a wind in your face, even whether it's a pre-rotation takeoff or a touch and go, let the wind do your work for you. Let the wind work them blades up. You don't need a lot of ground speed, and I'll show you that here. Once the pre-rotation is complete, and I'll move the cyclic back, and I won't apply a lot of power. We'll get these blades spun up. Yeah, I'll let the cyclic all the way back, get that maximum disc angle. Here we go, up to 200. I like to get about 225. Okay, now I'll bring the cyclic back, and I'm just not going to apply a lot of throttle. Just going to sit here. Notice the ground speed is very minimal. I had a little more power. See, the nose is off already. The blades are still coming up. They're 300, and I'm just keeping it. It's kind of like a soft field takeoff. Keeping it high. Ground speed is minimal. And I have a little more power. Good soft field takeoff. Get you that feel of backside the power curve. See how I'll keep low. See how it's just hanging there. Alright, I'll just make a landing, keeping the nose high, keeping it high. Okay, then add a little power, take off again, bring it back, bring the throttle back, just rudders and cyclic and power.
Traffic, 3077 Echoes, turning space for 19, Cersei traffic.
Settling down, we're on the ground, add a little power, we're off the ground again, throttling back. Oh, this is a real good exercise, and it's, you know, you reduce the risk of problems because your ground speed is so minimal. Here we go, I'm throttling back some, keeping the nose high, land on those main wheels. A little more power. You're on the back side of the power curve all the time. See, I'm doing 30, 35 miles per hour. Alright, here we go. Back down. Oh, this is perfect. Wow. Look at that, almost a vertical descent to landing. Here we go.
Cersei traffic, 3077 Echoes on final for 19, Cersei traffic.
Alright, he's on final. I'll continue on. We'll go around the back.
Cersei traffic, Gyrocopter midfield on the go, 19.
Yeah, great practice. And another thing to keep in mind, if you during the winter times you fly an open gyro plane, you're not going to do much flying in the winter, so there's going to be periods of time when you won't fly at all. So when you do start flying again, and a month or two or more passes, you really should get with either a gyroplane pilot or an instructor and kind of get back in the swing of things, you know. Get a couple of hours of transitional training or recurrency training, whatever you want to call it. And while we're at it, we're going to go off to this little grass field, just kind of as a reminder to fly, you want to land in a short field. If it's a grass field, generally short fields of grass, make sure you're familiar with it. Don't just be flying along and say, hey, there's a nice strip there, I think I'll make a pass or a touch and go. Well, you don't know what, they all look smooth from the air.
Thirsty traffic, Gyrocopter 724 Juliet Foxtrot. We'll be 1 mile directly east of the runway maneuvering, Thirsty.
Yeah, don't just land at you know, check it out first. It may be tall grass, and if you hit tall grass at any forward speed, it's going to flip you over. So you can make a low, and even making a low pass over a strange field, runway, or field actually. You don't know if there's wires. There's a lot of wire strikes with gyrocopters. You can't see wires until they're too close to maneuver, either above or below them. So, if you want to fly low...
Thirsty traffic, 3077 Echoes, turning crosswind for 19, thirsty traffic.
You want to fly low and slow, then do it over a runway. And if you have to land in the woods, you have to land in tall grass, if you have to land in water.
What altitude will you be maneuvering at?
I'll be over at the grass strip, about 800 feet be my max.
All right, we're going to go into this field. Yeah, if you land in anywhere where there's not a nice smooth surface to land on, you want to slow your forward speed down to minimum.
November 629er. Radio check.
Loud and clear.
All right.
Roger, thank you, Rob.
If you're coming in like I...
Thirsty traffic, 3077 Echoes on the downwind for 19, thirsty traffic.
Yeah, this, I like to do a high approach over short fields. I don't like to come in low over all the obstacles and trees and what have you. So we're just going to slow it down and do like a vertical. Yeah, don't fly low and slow. It's fun, it's exciting, but it's very deadly. You don't know what you're going to run into. All right, we're settling in. Yeah, we're doing about 40. And I won't go any slower than that. In case I have an engine problem, I can convert what little altitude I have into adding 20 more miles an hour for my approach speed. Okay, I'll lower the nose a little bit. And if you land too far down a runway, don't take the chance of just, well, I can take off again, because you may have obstacles to clear. And if you just pull the stick back, you're going to slow down. You're not going to climb. All right, we've got a good wind here. We're going to do an actual soft field landing. A lot of power, nose high. There we go. On the ground, here we go, off. You want to get off as soon as possible for the bumps.
Thirsty traffic, 3077 Echoes, turning base for 19, thirsty traffic.
This field's quite smooth. They keep it maintained properly. Obviously, I don't have any obstacles to climb here. And if you're climbing out of a short field, it's recommended rather than just to blast off over trees or whatever, you at a low altitude while you're climbing to altitude, you know, you should do a circle. Just circle like I'm doing here. Circle climb.
Thirsty traffic, 3077 Echoes on final for 19, thirsty traffic.
Until you get the altitude that, preferably 1,000 feet minimum. So I'm climbing. I'll just circle here.
Thirsty traffic, helicopter 811, Sierra Foxtrot, just off of Community House, 3 miles northeast of the airfield. We'll be maneuvering to enter extended left base for 100.
Okay, I've got 800 feet, so I'm going to level off. I'll climb a little more as I enter the airport traffic pattern.
Thirsty traffic, Gyrocopter 724 Juliet Foxtrot. We're directly mid-field east of the airport. We're going to join into
Okay, we got one, just a short final there, and we got one on left base, so I think by the time we get there, we'll be clear. Yeah, you know, I get a lot of people call me, and they love gyro. They love to get into gyroplanes because you can fly low and slow. But that's not true. You can fly low and slow, but not safe. And it's sad because people do things with gyroplanes that they won't do with an airplane.
Traffic, Helicopter 811, Sierra Foxtrot, starting final landing, parallel, taxi 19 midfield,
Searching traffic, Gyrocopter 724 Juliet Foxtrot, midfield, left downwind, runway 19.
Searching traffic 3077, that goes on the go for 19, searching traffic.
And what we'll do this time, we'll land at the very beginning of the runway, probably on the numbers, somewhere in that area. And we'll do some more multiple takeoff and landings, just to recap what we've done earlier.
Searching traffic inbound, what's your location?
We're on short final for the parallel taxi 19er, Helicopter 811, Sierra Foxtrot.
How far out are you? I don't see you. I'm on the left downwind.
I've got you in sight. We're low level below you on short final for the parallel taxiway. That's 2.5 miles to the...
Oh yeah, I got you now. I'll follow you in. Thanks. Searching traffic. Gyrocopter close in left base, runway 19. Searching.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you know, you should fly a gyrocopter like, you know, like you're supposed to. Now, don't take a lot of chances because you got that rotor blade spinning around, a lot of inertia up there, and compared to an airplane.
Searching traffic, Gyrocopter short final 19.
You can, you know.
Searching traffic 3077, that goes turning downwind for 19, searching traffic.
Yeah, if you dip a wing on the ground with an airplane, you'll just scrape it and whatever. But if the rotor blade strikes the ground, you got a lot of inertia, and it's just going to wrap everything up, including the pilot. So, you know, pay attention. You got all that mass swinging around above you. Stay safe. Get plenty of training. And stay proficient. That's the thing. Fly frequently. Okay, we're on a short final here. We'll do a few more multiple takeoff and landings. And if you come in for a landing, don't shoot for a spot on the runway. Pay more attention to your airspeed. All right, and by the way, these multi-takeoff and landings, you don't look at any instruments at all. You're looking outside, looking at those lines, and just go by the feel of the aircraft. See how bringing that nose up, touching down, add power. Good, taking off and landing, eyes outside. So you may float a little bit, that's all right, keep the nose high. Remember, the nose wheel is not part of the landing gear. Okay, here we go again. Jumping in the air, throttling back. Let it settle in.
Searching traffic 3077, that goes turning base for runway 19.
Here we go again. Bump the landings. Yeah, they probably won't be smooth, but as long as you keep this aircraft, keep the yaw, keep it straight, parallel, in the direction you're going, you can bounce, and you'll bounce straight. But if you get one wheel ahead of the other, and like the yaw is too far off one way or another, you're gonna, well, I'll demonstrate it. Watch when I touch down. It'll jerk it. See how it jerked it to the right? Because I hit that right wheel first. I had it too close, too crooked to the left. All right, we'll do a last one here because we got a guy on about ready to turn on final. So we'll bring it down, keeping it straight, working them rudders, working the throttle, working the stick. Very little roll.
Searching traffic 3077, that goes on final
Yeah, the most critical part of a landing is when you come to a full stop and you're taxiing off the runway. Like right now I got a crosswind because I got the cyclic tilted into the wind and forward. But if it's a lot of wind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the wind again here. I don't like a lot of crosswind when my blades are slowing down because you get bump. You get mass bumping. Okay, here we go. We're going to apply the pressure. That's what I like about these auto gyros. They got a nice pneumatic system in it. It's very effective and stops your rotor blades very fast. Yeah, see, I'm into the wind now. So I wasn't so lucky with that. I'll reposition my blades. Yeah, right there, perfect. And we'll taxi back. Thank you very much for watching, and appreciate it. See you in the next video. Thanks.